The city's golden boy got shot down by the campus queen, so he offered to pay me, the shot girl, to drink with him. I was about to say no when my battered old phone buzzed. Mom, don't blow this. This is your only chance to land a rich husband. The voice, young and insistent, came through clear as day. She claimed to be my daughter, 10 years from the future. Just one drink with him and you'll get a black card, no questions asked, she said. Refuse, and in 10 years, I'll be begging for scraps under a bridge. I froze. Getting rich from a single drink? Why didn't anyone tell me sooner? I hung up and slid onto the bench beside Conrad Sterling. All right, I said with determination. I'll drink with you, and we won't stop until one of us can't stand up. I downed the first glass in one gulp. He was impressed. Smiling, he pulled a black card from his wallet and slapped it on the table. Spend whatever you want tonight. Keep me company, and it's yours. Before I could grab it, the campus queen, Melanie, swiped it away. You really have no shame, do you? She sneered. Planning to take it just like that? Don't forget, she warned. Just because I rejected him doesn't mean you get leftovers. I ignored her and scrambled for the card. Conrad's smug smile widened. See that, Melanie? You might not want him, but plenty of people do. Tonight, Sophie's all I care about. Melanie's glare could have burned holes, but she stormed off. Clutching the card, I felt like I might cry. My supposed future daughter had been telling the truth. Conrad hated rejection, and by accepting his offer, I'd secured the card that would cover my rent and tuition. I had doubted her, thinking it was some scam, but I was already scraping by selling shots at a bar. What did I have to lose? Remembering my daughter's advice, I gave Conrad my brightest smile. The honor is mine, Mr. Sterling. Thank you for your generosity. He was pleased, bought out my entire sales quota for the night, and got drunk, ranting about Melanie's lack of taste. I played along, praising him. She's missing out on someone incredible. He beamed. Exactly. Don't ever doubt yourself because of her. You're amazing. Meanwhile, I sipped apple juice, matching him glass for glass. When he finally passed out, I carried him to my tiny apartment.
My phone buzzed again.
Prince Charming is a germaphobe.
Get him cleaned up fast.
He's been starved for affection. Show him warmth. I asked, how do you know all this? And how can you even call me? I can't explain everything. Just do exactly what I say. Otherwise, my future is bread mold, and your future is the streets. She warned me to protect the phone. It was our lifeline. Looking at Conrad asleep, I made a promise. I'd take this chance and change our lives. The next morning, I set a bowl of hangover soup in front of Conrad. I made this to help your headache, I said. There's porridge and pancakes too if you want. The smell filled the small apartment, and his eyes glistened. Thank you, it's been a long time since someone cared like this, he said. I blinked back tears. No, thank you. Your cards saved my home. When he saw my modest apartment, his expression softened. Learning I was an orphan who'd funded my grad school through odd jobs, he looked both proud and protective. Keep the card, he said. Use it for what you need. No repayment. I admitted I had planned to give it to Melanie, and he smiled. Better it's with someone who actually needs it. During breakfast, he praised every bite. I seized the moment. If you don't mind this simple place, you're welcome anytime, I said. He quickly added me as a contact and promised frequent visits. As my daughter predicted, the phone rang. See? No onions in pancakes next time. And invest in yourself, especially your hair. You can't marry rich with frizz. So, I quit the bar and dove into a new routine: salon, gym, wardrobe upgrades. By evening, my daughter's voice instructed. Don't wait for him to chase you. He loves being fussed over. I texted Conrad. Eat properly after drinking, or you'll get a stomachache. He replied immediately, complaining about his office takeout. I smiled and invited him over. If you want, dinner's at mine tonight. From that day, my tiny apartment became his private dining spot. I grew more confident, polished, even giving him business advice sometimes. Our bond deepened, and he helped me find a new apartment closer to him.
My daughter cheered.
One step closer to marrying rich. To cement his devotion, I anonymously spread a rumor that we were together. Melanie confronted me days later, furious and loud. Look at Sophie. She's pretending innocent, but... All eyes turned to me, judgmental and shocked. You think sleeping with him will make him yours? Dream on. He's just using you to get to me. Melanie spat. I let a single tear roll down my cheek, the perfect touch of vulnerability. A cold voice interrupted. Melanie, I never knew you were this cruel. Conrad's disappointment in her eyes left me quietly triumphant. I had orchestrated the rumors and even feigned illness to have him see it. Melanie, forget her, Conrad said flatly. I was wrong about you. She fumed. Stop pretending. I know you're using her to get at me. Conrad snapped. Enough. He pulled me behind him, voice booming. Sophie is a hardworking, decent woman. One more rumor, and you'll hear from my legal team. The crowd gasped. He led me to his Rolls-Royce, gently wiping my tears. I should have handled Melanie sooner. You shouldn't have gone through that, he said. I squeezed his hand. Thank you. I must have done something right in a past life to deserve you. From that day, he spent more time in my apartment, our bond growing deeper with each shared meal. Despite a new phone, I treasured my old one, calling my daughter daily, following her guidance. Where am I in 10 years?
Who's my dad?
Are you still eating moldy bread? I asked. Her reply remained the same. Time is short. Just marry Conrad. It's the only way you'll be happy. Making our relationship official was the next challenge. One day, a wealthy woman blocked my path outside a spa. So, you're the girl who stole my son's heart. I hadn't expected Conrad's mother to appear. Both he and my daughter had told me she was distant, focused entirely on her career, and that his father had died young. I never imagined she would become a problem. Her eyes narrowed at me as I stood frozen. Just as I thought. A nobody from the countryside, she sneered. She threw a stack of papers at me. A filthy little shot girl, imagining she could worm her way into the Sterling family? I will not let my son ruin our name with someone like you. I noticed her assistant in the corner, subtly recording everything on their phone. That's when it hit me. This could be my chance to prove myself to Conrad. I straightened my posture, summoning all the righteous indignation I could muster. Mrs. Sterling, you can humiliate me, but you cannot harm Conrad. He's never known a loving home. And now that he has, you want to steal it from him? Her face darkened. You're an orphan. What right do you have to speak to me this way? Don't push it. Here's $10 million. Walk away and stay out of his life. I stood firm. I don't want your money. I'm speaking for him, because I care. I will never abandon Conrad. I could never watch him face the world alone. Enraged, she slapped me across the face. The sting was sharp, but inside I was thrilled. This confrontation was proof I'd won a victory of sorts. She jabbed her finger at me, hurling insults before storming out. You think winning him will be easy? It's not. Almost immediately, my daughter called, her voice worried but triumphant. Mom, your face. Don't worry, I'd blow on it if I could. You turn his mother's plan on her perfectly. The prince will be here any minute to declare his love. I kept the red handprint on my cheek, waiting anxiously. And just as she predicted, Conrad arrived. His eyes widened at the mark on my face, and he wrapped me in a fierce embrace, his voice trembling. I saw everything. This is the first time anyone has chosen me for me, he said. Be my girlfriend, Sophie. I promise my heart is yours. I exhaled and returned his confession with all my heart. To solidify our commitment, he immediately transferred the apartment to my name and began planning a grand banquet to publicly announce our engagement. My daughter's excitement was palpable. Mom, soon you'll be the prince's fiancé. And when will you two have a baby? I can't wait to meet them. I smiled at the thought. Without her guidance, none of this would have happened. Filled with anticipation, I headed for the banquet, but froze the moment I entered. It wasn't Conrad waiting. It was his mother and Melanie. The malice in Melanie's eyes sent a shiver down my spine. Before I could react, my phone rang frantically. Mom, get out. Melanie lunged and snatched the phone. As long as I'm here, you will never marry Conrad Sterling.
Crash.
The phone shattered across the marble floor. I stared at the pieces in disbelief. Without that phone, how could my daughter reach me? I had no guide now. 2 bodyguards grabbed me. Melanie slammed the doors behind us, her voice dripping with triumph. Thinking of calling for help? Forget it. His mother has him under lock and key. Conrad's mother laughed coldly, satisfied. You've got nerve, Sophie. Daring to trick my son into this banquet. If you had announced your engagement tonight, what would that have done to my reputation? She waved a check in front of me. Take this and vanish. Otherwise, I'll expose your past, your orphan background, your bar job, to the world. Fear surged, but I held my ground. My past isn't shameful. Working to get an education is nothing to hide. And I will stand by Conrad no matter what. For the first time, I wasn't acting. My feelings were real. I cared for him, and I owed it to my daughter. For a brief moment, I saw a flicker of something in Mrs. Sterling's eyes. Curiosity, maybe even respect. Melanie panicked, sensing the change. You're just acting. How many people have you fooled with this act? Mrs. Sterling chuckled softly. Last time, I misjudged. Conrad only came closer to you. This time, your act won't work. I'll keep him away until he agrees to leave you, or ship him overseas to marry an heiress. Her voice dripped with malice. As for you, I'll make sure you're so unworthy that you'll have no choice but to crawl away. She signaled her guards. Strip her and take photos. Post them online. Let's see if my son wants her then. I trembled, but refused to back down. Mrs. Sterling, do this, and Conrad will never forgive you. She didn't care. Melanie stepped forward, tearing at my dress. I struggled, but the bodyguards held me firm. And then, I heard it. A faint, familiar ringtone. I stared at the broken phone. How could it be ringing? Then my daughter's voice echoed in my mind. Don't be afraid, Mom. The prince is coming. Just hold on 2 more minutes. You have to trust him. I picked an amazing dad. Her words gave me strength. I fought back with renewed determination, timing it perfectly. Melanie's hands tore at my dress. You used your body to seduce Conrad. Now you'll pay.
Boom.
The doors to the banquet hall slammed open. Conrad charged in, a jacket flung over my shoulders. Anyone who hurts Sophie tonight pays, he growled, eyes blazing with fury. He had seen everything. Melanie, he seethed, you'd stoop this low just to hurt her? I clutched the jacket, trembling but relieved. Are you okay? Did they hurt you? I'm fine. I was worried about you. His rage erupted at seeing my first thought had always been him. Get them, he roared at the guards. They swarmed Melanie, leaving her stunned on the floor. Conrad, how did you get out? His mother shrieked. I'm in charge of Sterling Industries. Everyone answers to me, he said, disappointment cutting deep. I had hope for respect, but I never imagined this. Melanie begged for mercy. Conrad ignored her, holding my hand tight. I'll handle you later, he said to his mother. But if you touch Sophie again, we are done. I gathered the phone pieces. Conrad helped, but the technician delivered the bad news. It was beyond repair. It's an old model, I explained. Friends at the orphanage gave it to me. It's my only link to my daughter. He frowned. Don't worry. I'll find a way. No cost is too much. After that chaos, Melanie disappeared from my life for good. She withdrew from the university the next day, citing health issues, and I heard she didn't even sign the paperwork herself. Conrad, having finally drawn a firm boundary with his mother, warned her that any further interference would result in her being sent to a retirement home overseas. She refused to back down, attempting to rally the company's older shareholders against him. Seeing her betray her son erased any lingering affection he might have had for her. Conrad, unwilling to tolerate it, acted decisively. He seized her shares and removed her from the company. Melanie tried to confront me multiple times, screaming, "It's your fault. You bewitched my son and turned him against me." But Conrad's protection was absolute. She could only shout from afar, powerless to reach me. I felt pity rather than fear. If she had shown him even a fraction of the warmth I gave, I wouldn't have stood a chance. Her coldness had driven him straight into my arms. To ensure my safety, Conrad assigned bodyguards and moved me into his heavily secured villa. He was impressively decisive and commanding, a man my daughter had chosen well. Still, a pang of sadness lingered. Was my daughter, 10 years in the future, still going hungry? Without her guidance, I had so many unanswered questions. Conrad, however, kept his promise. He offered a huge reward online, $500,000, for an identical model of my old phone. News of his gesture spread quickly. The legendary Conrad Sterling would go to such lengths for his girlfriend. Eventually, someone came forward with a matching phone. The technician painstakingly rebuilt it, part by part. When I finally held it, fully restored, I felt a rush of joy. Look, my sweet girl, it's fixed. You can call me again. Yet even with the phone fully operational, no call came. Putting that disappointment aside, I threw myself into planning the new banquet with Conrad. This time, everything went perfectly. He invited everyone, employees, business partners, classmates. When it was my turn on stage, he did the unexpected. He got down on one knee. Sophie, will you marry me? My heart soared. This announcement was secretly our engagement reveal. If only my daughter could see. Tears of happiness filled my eyes, and I was about to say yes when a shrill scream pierced the air. Melanie had burst through security. Conrad is blind. He's marrying a shot girl, she yelled, waving old photos. The crowd murmured in shock. And then, a sound I had longed for finally came. My phone rang. I answered, hands trembling, but my daughter's voice was weak. Mom, this might be the last time I can call. My fingers shook as I held the phone. Down below, the guards restrained Melanie while Conrad scolded her. I realized something profound. Whenever I was in danger, my daughter from the future appeared just in time to help me. She had been silently protecting me all along. Where are you going? What's happening? I asked. I'm okay, Mom, she said. Knowing you're happy makes me happy. I have a smart mom and a dependable dad. When I'm born, I'll be the happiest little princess. Her voice faded before I could ask more, and a pang of grief washed over me. I would never hear her again, at least not yet. But I remembered her warning. She wanted me to have a child. That realization strengthened my resolve. I wouldn't wait for destiny. I would take happiness into my own hands. I turned to Melanie and slapped her sharply. Are you finished? No matter how pathetic you act, Conrad will never look at you again. I let all my frustration out. You didn't lose him because of me. You threw him away. You used him to feed your vanity and played games with his heart. Conrad deserves someone who loves him genuinely, and that's not you. Melanie was speechless, while the crowd watched in awe. Conrad lifted me into his arms. Sophie, I think I fall more in love with you every second. I want to marry you now. I slid the ring onto my finger, voice steady.
Yes.
I'll marry you. I want to be yours forever. Seeing the blush creeping across his face, I teased. So, can we skip to the fun part early? Without another word, he carried me home, leaving the guests behind. After the engagement party, the media hailed me as Conrad Sterling's fiancée. Melanie faced legal action for defamation and invasion of privacy. Conrad's team ensured she not only faced financial penalties, but also had to apologize publicly. It was my mother who encouraged her, Conrad explained. Since she won't listen, she'll be sent abroad. No one will ever hurt us again. I had once thought of Conrad as just another arrogant rich kid, but seeing his devotion, I realized how perfect he could be. Even so, I still longed for a call from my daughter. The phone remained silent, a reminder that she was still out there in time, watching over me. Planning our wedding, I was filled with joy, and then a revelation. Conrad, I whispered, trembling. I think I'm pregnant. He nearly leapt out of his skin with excitement, rushing me to the hospital. 7 weeks confirmed on the scan, I wept with happiness. My daughter could finally come back to me. That night, I dreamed. A little girl appeared, exactly like Conrad. Mommy, it was me who called you, she said. Now I can tell you everything. She recounted her story. In another timeline, I had refused Conrad that night. Danger had struck, and she had nearly died. The king of the underworld had given her a chance to return, attaching her spirit to my phone to guide me. She explained that Conrad had always been meant to be her father. I was there whenever you faced danger, she said. I insisted you accept him, because it was fate. I hugged her tightly. So you stopped calling because my destiny had changed? She grinned. Exactly. After tonight, I can finally come back to your belly and be the happiest little girl in the world. When I awoke, I touched my stomach, feeling Conrad's arms wrapped around me. A warmth I had never known filled my heart. Our happy life, mine and my daughter's, was only just beginning.